This is the story of Mekayla Bali, a 16-year-old Canadian girl whose disappearance on April 12, 2016, turned into a haunting mystery. Nearly a decade later, her fate remains unknown. I tell this story with care, respect, and the hope that by retracing her steps, you feel something of what her loved ones still feel: longing, grief, and a desperate search for answers. Welcome to Propedia Media. Mekayla Margaret Kim Bali, born July 2, 1999, in Regina, Saskatchewan. Her birth name was Nebigal. 7 months before she vanished, on September 11, 2015, her name was legally changed to Bali. She lived in Yorkton with her mother, her aunt, her maternal grandmother, and 2 younger siblings. Her maternal grandfather had died only the month before she disappeared. According to her mother and friends, Mekayla was described as shy and quiet, gentle and caring. She played the violin, participated in her high school drama club, and was in 11th grade at the time she disappeared. A friend recalled she was very conscious about what her friends' needs were. Her mother insisted she was not a risky kid. Mekayla had no history of running away, or of substance abuse or dangerous behavior. At the time of her disappearance, she stood about 157 centimeters tall, 5 feet 2 inches, weighed around 56 kilograms, had fair skin, and blue eyes. Her hair, naturally reddish, had been dyed blonde. She had some distinguishing features: acne, a small birthmark the size of a dime on her chin, scars on her forehead from chicken pox, and a row of scars on her thigh from self-harm. She sometimes wore glasses. Her family, friends, school, by all accounts, thought she was a regular teenager, quietly trying to find her place. There was nothing loud or dramatic about her life, until that day. The day that changed everything, April 12, 2016. The morning of April 12, 2016 was no different for the mother and daughter. Paula Bali, her mother, said in one of her interviews, "We were in the bathroom putting on our makeup, listening to tunes, talking about our day. Nothing stands out as different from that day." At approximately 8:20 a.m., Mekayla's grandmother dropped her off at school, Sacred Heart High School in Yorkton. By 8:25 to 8:30 a.m., she left the school. Surveillance footage shows her walking out through a back exit. From there, her morning becomes a record of stops, visits, and more questions than answers. Between about 8:30 and 8:40 a.m., she walked eastbound on Smith Street West, from the intersection of Smith Street West and Gladstone Avenue North. Shortly after, between 8:30 to 9 a.m., she entered a pawn shop, Terry's Pawn and Bargain, possibly attempting to pawn a silver ring. Mekayla did not pawn any items that day, and nothing was missing from their home. The shop owner later told police he declined because the ring's value was too low. Between 8:50 and 8:55 a.m., she was seen entering a bank, TD Bank, located at 63 Broadway Street East, where she withdrew $55 Canadian. Her mother believes the money was for her lunch. If you're tuning in for the first time and want to explore more unbelievable real-life stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Propedia Media. These narratives are true, and they expose some of the darkest sides of human behavior. Around 9 o'clock to 9:15 a.m., Mekayla entered a combined Tim Hortons, Wendy's at 160 Broadway Street East. She bought a drink, sat down at a table, backpack beside her. Friends later noted she didn't typically carry a backpack to school. Over the next few minutes, she frequently used her phone. At one point, she appeared to take it apart and then reassemble it. Less than 15 minutes later, around 9:23 a.m., she exited the restaurant, but returned almost immediately, leaving again through another exit. Over the next 25 minutes, surveillance cameras captured her wandering around the area near the restaurant, walking in wide, counterclockwise loops, as if surveying the surroundings. At about 9:49 a.m., she re-entered the restaurant, this time sitting at a different table. In the 20 minutes that followed, she was seen using her phone repeatedly, sending texts, making calls. Multiple, lengthy calls. Then around 10:12 a.m., a friend received a text from Mekayla. "Hey, I need help." Minutes later, another text. "Never mind, I figured it out." Sometime at 10:43 a.m., she started a short conversation with an older woman, who told police Bali had asked her for help in renting a hotel room, which she declined. After the conversation, Bali used her telephone again and left the restaurant for the last time. After leaving the cafe, between approximately 10:45 a.m. and 11:55 a.m., Mekayla was captured on surveillance walking west on Broadway Street East. Her path took her past a Kia dealership, crossing 7th Avenue toward the Ramada Hotel. Then she turned south on 7th Avenue for a short distance, before turning around, passing the Ramada Hotel again, and continuing west on Broadway Street East. She isn't seen on any additional surveillance recordings for over an hour. However, not long after the last verified sighting, a staff member at the STC bus depot later reported that Mekayla had approached the counter to ask when the next bus to Regina was scheduled. When she was informed the next departure wouldn't be until 5 p.m., she left the depot without purchasing a ticket. This interaction is believed to have taken place sometime between 11 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. At 11:35 a.m., she sent another text to a friend saying, "I'll see you at lunch." Then, at 11:59 a.m., she walked back into her school and spoke with two students in the cafeteria. They later recounted that Mekayla mentioned she was planning to travel to Regina for a short trip. Between 11:55 a.m. and 12 p.m., she re-entered her high school, Sacred Heart High School, according to surveillance. She spent about 5 minutes inside. Then, at 12:03 p.m., she left the school. Shortly after, between 12:15 p.m. and 1 p.m., she was seen at the Trail Stop restaurant, the restaurant inside the STC bus depot on 1st Avenue North. Eyewitnesses say she purchased and ate a meal there. Then, between 1 p.m. and 1:45 p.m., Mekayla left the bus depot. That is the last confirmed time and place she was seen. Investigators later confirmed that Mekayla never boarded any bus that day. In her final confirmed appearance, she was described as wearing glasses, a teal or mint-colored infinity scarf, jeans, and a 3/4 length coat in a burgundy or deep purple shade. Her blonde, wavy hair was left loose around her shoulders. After 1:45 p.m., nothing. No confirmed sightings. No CCTV, no transactions, no phone calls. Just silence. That afternoon, Mekayla's grandmother came to pick her up, as she did many days before. But this time, she was not at school. Mekayla's grandmother called her mother. Together, they drove across town, retracing what her granddaughter might have done. They searched, they called friends. But nothing. Hours passed. No sign of her. Concern turned to fear. That evening, the family reported her missing to the police. On April 14, 2016, 2 days after her disappearance, the local branch of Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, in Yorkton publicly appealed for help finding Mekayla. Over the next weeks, police canvassed, interviewed friends, acquaintances, classmates, anyone who might have seen her on April 12. But nothing concrete emerged. After 3 weeks, the Yorkton RCMP handed the case over to their General Investigations Section, GIS, the specialized unit dealing with serious crimes. By July 21, 2016, just over 3 months since she vanished, authorities issued a child search alert across 3 provinces: Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Despite the passage of time and the expansion of the search, nothing definitive emerged. On the first anniversary of her disappearance, the case was passed to the RCMP Historical Case Unit, typically a sign a case is cold. What happened to her phone? The next morning, April 13, 2016, at 6:51 a.m., Mekayla's cell phone was turned off. After that, no activity. No social media logins, no posts, no transactions from her bank account. Her family also discovered she did not have a passport, making international travel unlikely. 3 months later, there was one tantalizing glitch. A message sent to her via Snapchat was marked opened. But investigators could not confirm whether it was genuinely viewed, or by whom. No withdrawals, no bus ticket records, no border crossings, nothing that would indicate movement beyond Yorkton. Investigators concluded, with available evidence, she likely never left Canada. Why did Mekayla walk away from her normal routine on that day? Why did she wander between bank, pawn shop, cafe, bus depot, school, seemingly charting no coherent path. Over the years, several theories have been debated. None proven. Some suggest the possibility she intended to run away, maybe to escape something. Her unusual behavior on April 12 could be interpreted as planning. Some of Bali's older social media posts suggested she had been unhappy and thinking about leaving, but her mother emphasizes that those messages were outdated and did not reflect her daughter's state of mind when she went missing. But those who knew her disagree. Her mother insisted Mekayla was not a risky kid. At home, bills, identification, personal items, they remained untouched. A friend commenting online said, "She was a shy, introspective teenager. Someone who wouldn't have left home without a word." Mekayla was known to be active online, using multiple aliases across social media apps. One app, Kik, in particular, drew concern. The app's anonymity and lax parental controls may have exposed her to danger. On March 1, 2016, Bali posted on both Snapchat and one of her Instagram profiles, "Looking for Snapchat friends because I have none in real life. Add me." The message fueled speculation that someone who responded might have played a role in her disappearance. Because of this, investigators devoted extensive effort to uncovering her online activity, but said that US privacy regulations significantly slowed the process. Bali's mother supported the investigation fully, handing over all the passwords, everything to Mekayla's accounts. One platform in particular, Kik, stood out as troubling. Both her friends and police described the app as a potential red flag, noting its weak parental controls and the anonymity it grants users. Bali's friends also admitted they had little idea who she had been communicating with on the platform. Detectives combed through hundreds of hours of surveillance video from nearby businesses and interviewed numerous possible witnesses in an effort to reconstruct Mekayla Bali's steps on April 12, 2016. Despite her frequent phone activity that day, her carrier reported no actual phone calls were made, leading investigators to believe she was communicating solely through social media apps. According to police, obtaining data and cooperation from these platforms proved to be a significant obstacle. Her last day, visiting multiple public places, using her phone repeatedly, making calls, could suggest she was trying to arrange something. Or meeting someone. But there is no public record of who, or what happened next. Given the total cessation of her digital footprint, phone off, no financial activity, no travel records, some fear the worst, that she may have been abducted or coerced, maybe trafficked. Community speculation online often includes this possibility. One tip received by police raised hopes. A man claimed he spoke to someone outside a bar in Edmonton who looked like Mekayla. Over the years, both the police and Mekayla's family have been flooded with hundreds of tips and reported sightings suggesting where she might be. On October 9, 2016, a lead emerged claiming Mekayla had been spotted in Vancouver. Her mother immediately traveled there, organizing a widespread poster campaign in hopes of finding her daughter. In 2017, the Tsuut'ina Nation Police Service reported that they believed Mekayla may have attended an event at the Grey Eagle Entertainment Center that January. Later, on August 8, 2019, her mother received a phone call from a man who said he had seen Mekayla in Edmonton. She stated she was seriously considering going there to look into the report herself. Another alleged sighting surfaced in January 2020, this time describing a girl resembling Mekayla panhandling in Penticton. After investigating, local authorities determined that the person seen was not Mekayla. But despite follow-up, nothing was confirmed. To this day, the official position of the RCMP remains that there is no conclusive public evidence of foul play. They treat her disappearance as a missing persons case, not a confirmed homicide. Mekayla's mother, Paula Bali, refused to let her daughter fade into obscurity. From early on, she became the public face of the search, holding vigils, giving interviews, organizing fundraisers, urging people to come forward. 6 months after Mekayla vanished, the community offered a $25,000 Canadian reward for information leading to her safe return. By 2022, on the 6th anniversary of her disappearance, an anonymous donor added $60,000 to the reward fund, bringing the total reward to $100,000 in a renewed outreach to the public. At a vigil on the 7th anniversary of her disappearance, in April 2023, around 50 supporters gathered. Paula spoke, her voice trembling. Wherever and whatever has happened to Mekayla, she is in God's hands. Still, she held on to hope. In my heart, she said, I still continue to feel that she is with us. In 2024, 8 years after Mekayla vanished, family members and supporters voiced their disappointment with the pace and prioritization of the investigation. Paula described the burden of searching for a missing child. If your child is missing, it's probably going to fall on your shoulders. To speak out, to sometimes dig really, really deep. On forums, Reddit threads and comment sections, armchair investigators and concerned strangers have floated various theories. Many echo the ones outlined above: runaway, online predator, trafficking, foul play. Some share personal hypotheses about the phone, potential last ping, or sightings. One user on a popular forum wrote, Mekayla Bali case has definitely stuck with me. How does a teenager disappear into thin air with no leads, no sightings, no anything? Almost 10 years later and no sign of Mekayla Bali. Others note the strangeness of her morning behavior, moving between pawn shop, bank, cafe, bus depot, school. The incoherence. The risk. A user recounted, I feel law enforcement may have information that they have deliberately chosen not to make public. But speculation, no matter how vivid, remains just that. Rumor. Fear. Pain. Hope. We know Mekayla's movements from 8:20 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. on April 12, 2016, are largely accounted for, thanks to surveillance footage, eyewitnesses, and transit records. She was last seen leaving the STC bus depot in Yorkton between 1 o'clock and 1:45 p.m., in her coat, scarf, glasses, and, importantly, did not board any bus that day. Her phone was turned off early the next morning. No bank activity, no social media, no travel records. No evidence she left Canada. We don't know what happened between 10:45 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. That hour remains a crucial gap. Surveillance footage shows no trace. No witnesses have publicly disclosed anything. Who, if anyone, she was meeting after leaving the bus depot. The man reportedly seen with her, via tip, was never located. Whether she went willingly somewhere, or whether she was manipulated, deceived, abducted, trafficked, harmed. No evidence of definitive foul play has been made public. Her fate, alive or dead, hidden or gone, it remains a blank. Imagine never knowing. Imagine opening the door every evening hoping, maybe this time, she'll walk in. Imagine holding on to photographs, posters, small hope, day after day, year after year. Her mother, Paula, continues to speak at vigils, fundraisers, media appearances, an unwavering advocate for the daughter she misses with every fiber of her being. Community members continue to share flyers, to canvass, to call tips lines, to search. But as months stretch into years, the quiet ache remains. As one online commenter put it, addressing the tragedy of uncertainty and loss, this case haunts me. Because Mekayla's story is not just about a missing person. It's about a human life, a girl with hopes, fears, music, friendships, erased from sight in broad daylight. Because the gaps in time, in records, in memories reveal how even in 2016, with cameras, databases, law enforcement procedures, a person can vanish. Unnoticed. Silent. Because somewhere, there may be someone who knows something. Someone who saw something. Someone who still carries that memory. Because giving up on her would be to give up on the idea that we owe each missing person the dignity of being found, or at least remembered. If you are listening, if you have seen anything, a young woman matching her description, someone trying to disappear into plain sight, a car parked somewhere, a name that rings no bells. If you once talked to someone online who vanished, please, come forward, speak out, because for Mekayla, for her family, for every unanswered question, because maybe one more piece, one more conversation, could light the way back. This is Propedia Media. Thanks for staying with us. If you believe stories like this matter and want to hear even more, support the channel by hitting that subscribe button and coming back for the next one. Subscribe now to Propedia Media, where we uncover the hidden truths of crime, justice, and the final words of those who meet their fate. Thanks for watching.